I'm Laura, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Renew with Laura.
I've been in the retail business for over 30 years. My jobs have ranged from store design and planning to merchandise management and buyer to retail tech and online development. I've worked in opening dozens of stores and operated stores with Boston Children's Hospital and Hallmark. My newest venture is Renew with Laura, a curated collection of secondhand and vintage clothes sold online and brick and mortar.
What is your thrifting superpower? What are some items that you are great at thrifting at? And do not say everything. Do not say, oh, nothing. There must be something you're great at or get the most excited about finding when you're in the store. And just tend to find more of those items because you're good at it. It could be jewelry. It could be handbags. It could be concert t-shirts. It could be 50s vintage. It could be Y2K vintage dresses, jeans. It could be anything, but focus on something. I've learned that this past year. The focus will help you choose better items more quickly for a better price, and time is money. Your success in thrifting not only depends on your thrifting superpowers, but what's available in your area. So be realistic on what you decide that you're going to focus on, but always be optimistic that you can find it. And don't be afraid to widen your thrifting circles. Look various places, make day trips to different places and get to know those places. And if you shop those variety of stores, you will learn which store tends to have more of something than the other. Or in an area may have some things more than others. For instance, if you go to a Goodwill in Maine, you will find a lot of LL Bean. Price. Don't overpay for stuff, right? Think it's simple. So what should you pay for your items? Well, how much of a profit do you need off of each item? How many items do you plan on selling? And how fast do you plan on selling them? So many variables go into this. It's not an easy answer. So this is why something you really need to figure out in your business plan before you start actually thrifting. If you don't already have one, a business plan, it doesn't have to be complicated, but the plan is critical to know what you need to pay before you start thrifting. Of course, the basic principle is to pay as little as possible. We all know that. Pay less, make more. This is called your COP, or cost of purchase. Lower cost of purchase, more profit, right? The cost of purchase is also called the COP, if you don't know that. COP, on a side note, should also include your shipping if you're ordering from Goodwill online or any online company. So once you've decided your COP, comp means to compare. You need to go to your selling platform and you need to look up the items that you are searching for or you have in your hand. See what those are selling for, not what they're listed for. I can ask $1 million for a Mickey Mouse t-shirt. I'm not getting $1 million for a Mickey Mouse t-shirt, or at least any Mickey Mouse t-shirts that I know of. So each platform has a way to find sold items. Look up those ways on your platform to when you look up items, there should be, whether it's eBay or Posh or whatever, items sold. And you click that button and it's going to bring up the items that have sold and what they have sold for. Small variables can make a difference. So try to get the exact item you have in your hand. The condition it's in, if it's in lousy condition, it's not going to be worth what a perfect new with tag items is. So don't get overzealous and say, I have this and it's worth $1,000, because if it's got holes in it, maybe it's not. So be realistic about the condition you have, and get it as close as possible. I've found things like, just because it's a Betsy Johnson whatever doesn't mean it's worth all this money or a little money. Each Betsy Johnson, vintage Betsy Johnson, is worth way more than new Betsy Johnson a lot of times. Certain pocketbooks have just really gone up in value, and that varies by day and time. So it's something you have to do frequently, but it's not something you're going to have to do constantly. Once you get used to your niche and your things that you're good at, you'll have to do it less, because you'll know when you pick something up, oh my God, this is great. However, you still will have to do it, because life changes, trends change. This week, this was phenomenal. Next week, it's not going to be phenomenal. So keeping up on that is critical. But no, comp. And we all are guilty of not doing it all the time, or comping incorrectly or too quickly. But as much as you can do it as possible, and you can, like I said, the more you do it, the less you'll have to do it. And if you're, especially if you're focusing on your niche and not everything on the planet and everything at that thrift store, it is so tempting to do that. List. Try not to buy more that you can list between thrifting trips. That's the way I regulate my inventory. At least what do you need? What do you need? Before you go thrifting, go through your inventory. What do you need more importantly than others? Now, I'm videotaping this in the spring, and trends right now tend to be cottagecore, prairie dress. Those right this week, I checked into it, and those really seem to be hot, and said dresses in particular. So I says, I'm going to go look for prairie dresses and stuff. Didn't find any, but I went to those aisles first. I kind of focused on that, and I did what I call a deep dive into those racks. Sometimes I cursory go through them. Today I really went through them, and I didn't find anything, but I knew I needed those. The other thing that's hot right now at spring is shorts, certain kind of shorts. I make sure I go through those shorts racks every time I'm there. I'm really monopolizing my time for the best way I can get through that store, because I could go through every item every time I'm there and spend way too much time looking for stuff I don't need right now. Maybe I don't need as many tops because I have 4 million tops, or it's not that you can't go through there sometimes and find that Johnny Wasp, but maybe today you should focus on something else. It's just like kind of having ADD and having too much to overwhelm you. And I'm lucky enough that I have a big store and a few stores that I can go through, in a lot of thrift places. I have that problem. But buy what's selling. and go in there with as much information as you can. Now, I know this video really just touches the surface of a few tips, but I've tried to pick out my most important things for when I go thrifting so that I make sure I'm making a profit on that shifting. I mean, I love to thrift. I would love to go through and buy everything, but this isn't a hobby for me. This is, I'm trying to make a living so I can stay off the breadlines. So if this does seem like a lot of work, it is a lot of work. You know, your mom always said there's no shortcuts in life, and there really isn't. YouTube makes it fun because we can find some nice short tips, and then there are some short tips, but you just got to do the work, and you have to put the work into it. But I love what I do, and it really doesn't seem like work to me. So even coming back and putting it online, and it's like, oh, it worked and it thrifted. So I do love what I do. So I thank you for watching this video, and if you would do me a huge favor and follow me and share this video, it would be helpful because I am trying to build another part of my business here with these videos. If there's anything that I've mentioned that you would like me to make more videos on and elaborate on in these videos, or in this video, I would be happy to do so. But again, please like, share. Help me out here. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today.